Well played, Tyler. Well played.
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to pull my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag in all its forms. What, Cookie?
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for If Loving You Is Wrong. This is season 4, episode 7. And I have to say, this was well played because I think I know what route Tyler is going. And I didn't even have to throw it out there and don't get paid for it this time. Anyway, we're going to talk about it. Okay, Dr. Roston and Alex. Okay, she's saying, you know what, Alex? I got this whole little meeting tomorrow down at the hospital. You need to have your ass there. And let them know that you lied about the results and all of that and get me out of all of this confusion you done got me tied up in. And she's like, oh, I'll be there. I'm like, yeah, that didn't sound so, so certain that she was going to be there, but whatever. So I was like, all right. Then she said, it's these lies and these secrets that have gotten you into this situation that you're in right now. And the new results that's on there, you need to tell Brad. Now, I don't know what's on there because they ain't telling us what's actually written down there. But it ain't what she thought it was going to be, which means Brad ain't the daddy. Okay? And I'm kind of thinking that Brando ain't the daddy now either. Okay, I said, girl, you got a whole lot going on. You the hot box. How do you're the kind of the mom, ain't you? Nasty. I was like, this is too much. So then we go down. We got Esperanza gets thrown in jail, and before she know anything, of course, there's no other cell available other than the one right next to Kelly, and they're in there, and Esperanza's still feeling her puss, honey. She down there talking about, girl, how are you? No, bitch, how are you? You in here too. Yeah, I can't stand Esperanza. I really can't. She works my nerves. But she goes in there. Then Lucia comes. Lucia ends up letting her out. And Eddie and Lucian get into it, And he's like, whatever, Eddie, go to hell, Then she goes upstairs. She runs into Steven. Steven's asking her what's going on. And then she says, Eddie locked me up. And he's like, well, wait a minute. Why were you with Eddie? I don't have to answer no questions to you. This, that, the other. Too much. Too much. So that ended up happening. Then Eddie ends up coming up. She walks off. And then Eddie and Steven gets into it. Then Lucia comes up and is like, cut it out. I'm like, this is all too much. All over Esperanza and her hot ass box. This is too much. Anyway, moving on. Rick comes and gets Lucia. And he takes them, they go back to this little interrogation room, and Miss good old Margaret, the chaplain, is in there. And she looks like she's all really torn about something. And Rick is like, go ahead, you can tell Lucia what's going on. And she ends up saying, Kelly said something to me that made me go home and pray really hard. And she said, there are other girls. She's not the only girl. And then she goes on, she's like, confused about what's what. Then she tells him, my loyalty is actually to the church. And this was a bad idea. Let me get on out of here. And Rick was like, just let her go, Lucian. It's, you got to finesse this. And I was like, now, what kind of woman of God is she? Because when God tells you to move on something, you don't go through all that. Not when you're a real woman of God. You don't go through all that. You don't question it. When God put it on you, he lay it on your heart, you go forward. You don't look back. You just go forward, and whatever it is that come out of it, that's what comes out of it. So, Miss Chaplain, girl, I ain't feeling you. But, yeah, whatever, girl. Everybody down at that church, that's a cult. That's not a church. That's a cult. It's a cult, and it has the devil wrapped all around it. There ain't no God in it. It's a mess. All them people are shady. They shady, and I think they know they moving in shade. You know, that's a cult. There ain't no damn church. Anyway, moving on. That's a whole nother situation. Whole nother situation. Not a fan. Brad and Marcie. He done asked this fool to marry him, and she's sitting around talking in circles. And that whole little scene got on my nerves, but that was it. I ain't even going into it. He asked her to marry him, and she acting stupid. Anyway, moving on. So let's get to the good stuff. Larry and Randall. Larry got his old fast self standing outside of Randall's house. They going back and forth. He said, "Let me in the house." He go in the house. He gives him this paperwork and it's receipts of him literally driving people crazy, like he did the woman across the street, Tanya. Just doing that same stuff. He was doing that to people, and there are lawsuits that were filed against the hospital, but they had receipts of where they settled some cases out of court where he was doing this stuff to people. And Larry was really feeling his puss at this point and starts trying to seduce him. And he said, "You know what?" He said, "I'm not forgiving you, this, that, thing, that." He said, "No, I saved you. I really did. I saved you. I really did." And he's like, "Whatever." He's going to say, "If you keep playing with me, something going to happen." He's going to say, "I was wishing that something did." I said, "Larry, stop being creepy. Damn." Larry, and that's the thing with Larry. I'll be looking at Larry and I'll be like, "God damn, Larry, it's fine." But then Larry will do something that be real creepy. I'll be like, Larry, your ass is creepy. You making me itch." You looking at him, he's just as cute as he can be. But just something about him just makes me itch. I was like, you're fucking weirdo. You know? So he over there trying to seduce Randall. I'm like, and you ain't even got to seduce Randall. Just snatch him up. Randall's old damn nasty freak, honey. All this seducing and carrying on. It's just creepy. Anyway, moving on. So then he ends up getting a call, and then now they have a meeting. As he got to go to the hospital tomorrow too. Because they all got to be a part of that little meeting. I said, "Oh Lord, okay." So then we see Rick and Kelly. And Rick stops before he goes to the church. He's still walking to church and trying to figure out what he needs to figure out. And he's talking to Kelly. Y'all know I don't like Kelly. Kelly gets on my nerves. But I like Rick. Rick's real cute too. And so I'm glad that he's gotten a better role. His role has taken on something better, so we get to see more of him because he just is cute and chocolatey and just cute, child. So, Rick. Cute Rick. Then he ain't had a little uniform on. He's even cuter. I said, "Look at Rick." But Rick is sweet on Kelly. I'm like, oh, not her. Of all the people in the story, you sweet on Kelly with her crazy ass. Every man that goes near her dies, honey. No, I'm just telling you. Just saying. Anyway, but yeah, I take Rick is a little sweet on Kelly. So I think once we get through all of this, Rick and Kelly gonna end up being together. Mess. Anyway, I see you, Tyler. Mess. But we'll take Rick. I guess we'll take him however we can get him for now. We have to find another woman because Kelly ain't gonna do it for me. Anyway, moving on. So Tanya then took her ass over to Randall's house. Bammed on the door. He opened the door. He gonna say, she gonna say, "Why did you say those things to me?" I said, "Oh, here we go. Now you so damn crazy. Now you going over there confronting a crazy doctor." I said, "Girl, he gonna have you pulling your damn hair out. Keep on." And then goes on and she gonna say, he says, "Your husband thinks you're crazy." Because she said, "I'm gonna tell my husband on you." He said, "Your husband thinks you're crazy." I said, "Oh Lord," he got her spinning. And she said something about you're what did she say to him? "You better stop looking through my window, because your little self something or other." He gonna say little. When he said, "Did you enjoy looking at me?" And she said something about little something. And he said, "Oh no, maybe you didn't see it. Let me show you up close." And got the ready to pull. I said, "Child, that Randall is too much. He's too much. He really is." And then right in the midst of that, Natalie walks up, and him and her get to going at it, and Randall, Natalie and Tanya talk real quick, and she sends her on home. She's like, "Okay, girl, everything was cool." And she goes on home, And then Natalie and Randall had a couple words. She's like, "You bastard, honey." He done told her, "You walk to the store. Nobody walk to the store around here. You can't buy no chicken down on the course." And he's so damn ignorant. You know, he's always calling her ghetto. And meanwhile, ain't nobody in the neighborhood act more ghetto than Randall. Randall's the best. Anyway, moving on. So Larry's down in his office. It's after hours, and somebody's in there. He says, "Who's that? Who's making that noise?" He gonna say, "It's your worst nightmare. It's Eddie." That damn Larry, he walks in the office. Larry gonna say, "Oh no, more like my sweetest dream." I said, "There you go again. Now you fucking with Eddie." So him and Eddie going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And he got to letting Eddie have it. He said, "Yeah, he said, I told you I'm not into girls like you." He said, "You sure? Because you sure seem to be into Joey." He's like, "Joey? Who's Joey?" He gonna say, "You know Joey. Natalie's son, Joey." I said, "Oh." See, I told y'all. I think Eddie is just all over the place. Eddie like boys, Eddie like girls, Eddie like everybody. But I think what really pissed him off with Larry, Eddie don't like black people. And that's the problem. And I think Larry slid that black thing in him, and that's what made him mad. I don't think he had a problem with having the thing slid in him. It was just the fact that it was a black one, honey. It just made him upset. It's like, girl, ain't no need to be upset. Be like everybody else, honey. You know you liked it, bitch. You know you liked it. They always do, honey. Hate us so much, but want us to tear them up, honey. That's just the way it is. See, I'm already getting on to something else. I'm leaving it alone. I'm giving y'all too much. I'm leaving it alone. But boom, boom, bam, and I'm back. But anyway, he gets to throwing these names out there. Andrew, Joey, Pete. I said, "Oh, you've been fucking them all." Oh, jeez. Mm-mm. And he said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, yeah. If you had Andrew down here, you talking about you building a case. Where's Andrew at?" He said, "Protective custody." You didn't know? No, because he thought Andrew was dead. He thought his Uncle Rusty took care of Andrew, but no, Uncle Rusty got taken care of with his dead ass. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy because I was real pissed off about Andrew. We liked Andrew. Andrew was cool. And we don't like Pete. Pete's an asshole. So whatever he did to Pete, that's on Pete. But Joey even got on my nerves a little bit here and there. But I started to like Joey toward the end. But we liked Andrew. Andrew was cool. Anyway, moving on. So Eddie told him, "You need to stop this now before it gets ugly." He said, "Oh no, it's too late, my friend. It's already gotten ugly." He said, "Yeah, well, I guess I might as well just take you out." He said, "Not if I do you. Not if I take you out first." Eddie was like, "Yeah, all right, whatever." So Eddie went to leave out of there, and I said, Larry gonna say, "Damn, you know you got an ass like a black girl, baby." I fell out laughing. I said, "You gonna make Eddie fuck you up, Larry?" You keep on playing with him. I cracked up. I said, "Mm-hmm." Said, but see, we were laughing. We said this before. Larry he got your goddamn number, Miss Eddie. He really did. He got your number, girl. You done really bought into something terrible this time. Anyway, moving on. So then we go over to this dinner. This is when it got real. I said, "Oh, Tyler, you made me very happy, Tyler." Tyler, they go over. Ian shows up at Lucian and Natalie's place for dinner. Remember, Natalie invited over old slutbox from next door, Alex. So whenever they get in there, Ian gets in there and Ian says, he's going to take the case, but he got to do it slick and he got to go through the public defender. And Lucian's like, "Oh, I don't know about." He's like, "No, this is the way I have to do it. I got to do it like so. Like, just chill, Lucian, just chill." So then he started doing this cryptic talk that was starting to get on my nerves about this evidence. He kept saying it's closer than what you think. It's closer than what you think. I'm like, just tell him what the goddamn shit is. That was making me mad. But anyway, so then I was like, all right, come on, Tyler, you already make me mad. Then Alex shows up. And Ian looks and says, hey, Jennifer. I said, "Who the fuck is Jennifer?" And then it clicked to me. No, I'm not Jennifer. I'm Alex. No, bitch, you're Jennifer. Just like he said. They ate, and then they end up going over to her house. He said, "I'll walk you home. I just live across the street." He goes over there, And see, people be having all these secrets, and he's supposed to be looking at her little paperwork for her divorce. When they get into her house, he yanked her up to give her a little bit of smooch, honey. And he says, "We're both adults here. Quit playing, Jennifer. Your name's Jennifer, Alex, whatever. You tell me. Why didn't you tell me you was married?" I said, "God damn it, Tyler." So, and then I'm looking at Alex, and Alex is looking confused. Is Tyler taking us down the road? Alex is schizophrenic, is what I'm gathering. Y'all tell me what y'all think, but I think that Tyler's getting ready to take us down the road. Remember, there were different names in Alex's phone. Remember, wasn't it he was calling her Peppa? Remember that? She had these different names and stuff in her cell phone. I believe that Alex is schizophrenic, and that bitch be out on a fucking spree and calling herself these different names. But I don't think that she does it consciously. I think Alex is actually schizophrenic. That's what I believe. I believe she's getting ready to give us a Trudy Chase moment. And if that's what you're doing, Tyler, and I didn't have to give you the idea, that is brilliant. That is brilliant. That's one of the best twists you've done, because your twists sometimes be kind of corny. So I'll be trying to help you out a little bit, help you out. But this little thing, if you're taking us down to schizophrenia, that's perfect. And the thing is, then I'm going to have to question you, because why didn't Randall pick up on it? Anyway, but this made me happy. This made me happy. Yes, it did. But Ian, you not all you seem to be either. You kind of slick and sneaky and sly with a hot dick too. Because you knew the neighborhood when you came there. And you knew that whore lived in that house. Now I got my side eye on you. You stay away from Marcie, you bastard. Anyway, this is good, y'all. This is good. I'll talk to y'all next week. Season finale. We at the end. Damn it, Tyler. All right, I'll catch y'all.